Hey YouTube! What's up guys? Jared Fuller here. Today is Sunday, November 26, 2K17. So glad you could join me this week. There's quite a bit to go over and I'm going to get started on that right now. First of all, I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Mine was okay. We went out to my grandpa's. He lives by himself. He's been widowed since January. His wife of 50 years had passed away, and he was going to spend the holiday alone, and my dad and I kind of changed that for him. He called us up and said, well, I was invited over to my other son's house. I was invited over here. I was invited there, but I'll just stay home. So he called us because, I don't know. He says, well, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? And Dad says, well, we were invited to like 3 different places, and we just decided to stay home. He says, well, if you're not doing anything, come on over. So that's what we did. It was just me and Dad and Grandpa enjoying a nice Thanksgiving feast. And it was good. It was a good time. I hope all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. On Tuesday was a very long day. I was in Lansing at Sparrow with my little buddy Caleb Becker. He was having hernia surgery, if I can speak. He was having hernia surgery plus chemo. And the morning was rough. It started out bad because I was planning on leaving around 7 o'clock in the morning, and I had a flat tire. And so I had to have my tire aired up. Then I had another tire I had to have fixed, which set me back about $12. But after that, I went to Lansing, and the day got better, progressively better, all things considered. I mean, situation could have been different not being in a hospital, but hey, I got to be with Caleb, and that was the highlight of my day. So we started out on the pediatric surgery unit at Sparrow, and we were downstairs in the lounge, in the surgical waiting lounge, and after that we walked to his room in the back, and I just walked to the back, and we sat in there with him for a while. We watched cartoons, and his mom had fallen asleep in a recliner here. His bed was in the middle, and I was in a recliner snuggled up to him at bedside, and we all took a nap. We all fell asleep. We were watching SpongeBob and Loud House and all these other different cartoons, and then after I'd say about an hour had passed, we went up to the 5th floor, and his dad had actually gone home to take a nap, and she was waiting for the husband to come back. And she says, well, are you going to be okay, with him? And I said, sure, he's fine. So Caleb and I were alone for about 10 minutes, but I was making him laugh, making him giggle, making him smile. And he would have his hand up. He would be in his bed. He would have his hand up like this. And I would run and glide across the floor and go, bam, pretending like I was smashing my face into his hand. And I'd fall back and I'd go, ugh, like that. And he would laugh and giggle. He was tugging on my goatee and rubbing his hand on my mustache and my beard. And he says, that tickles. But it was a wonderful, like I said, it could have been different, not in a hospital. But I was just happy to be there to help lighten the spirit a little bit, lighten the mood, because nobody likes being in a hospital. And I wanted to make it as comfortable and as, not so frightening for him as I could. But nonetheless, I got to spend the day with my little buddy, and we are planning on getting together again very soon. And I'm so looking forward to that. Bird shirts. Yes, I have a bird shirt that is currently being made for a warrior who lives in Arlington, Texas. His name is Ryan. And then that'll be sent out probably at the end of this week, around maybe the 1st of the month or after the 1st of the month. And then I'll be putting in 2 more orders for bird shirts for Caleb and for another warrior named Liam who lives in West Virginia. So, yeah, we got that going. I got to speak to the mother of a cancer warrior from Colorado. Her son's name is Chase. He is a lymphoma warrior. And we talked for probably anywhere, I'd say, between 45 minutes to an hour on the phone. And we were just talking and catching up on time that we haven't talked to one another. And it was a good conversation. And she had published a book called The Wake. And it's a story chronicling her son's battle from the beginning all the way up until after. And I had recited a part of her story to her. I told her, I said, well, I read this piece in your story, which made my heart sink, where you're describing carrying Chase because he couldn't walk on his own 2 feet. He was bottled up in the fetal position. He was curled up. And, when you carry your kid because he cannot walk on his own from being in so much pain, my heart sank. And she started crying on the phone, and she says, that was a very painful time for me. I said, I know it was. I said, I don't mean to make you cry. She says, no, it's okay. They're happy tears. She says, I'm happy that you love my story, love my book. I said, I love Chase. I said, and I love you. I said, and it was a very heartfelt story. I said, and it's going to revolutionize the pediatric cancer world. I have no doubt. And she was crying happy tears, and she's a really good lady. And we're planning a trip for me to go out to Colorado to meet all of them and to hang out for probably a week or so and get to know Chase a little better, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So I'm so looking forward to that, and thank you, Mom, for calling me. That always makes my day. Last week, actually on the night of Thanksgiving, I did a Skype video with a cancer warrior and his mom and his little sister. They live in upstate New York, and I'm planning a trip to go out there too. And we talked for probably a good hour in between interruptions because her internet connection was freezing on her end. But we had a very good, productive Skype. And yes, I do have Skype. If any of you have Skype, look for the name Jared Fuller. The profile picture for my Skype is the same as my YouTube down there in the corner, the bird over there. Yeah, look for me on Skype, and we can definitely do a Skype sometime. There's been some celebrity deaths lately. David Cassidy had passed away. Della Reese had passed away. Mel Tillis died. Grandpa Huxtable from The Cosby Show passed away. There's been so many different deaths lately, and it's been a busy week for celebrity deaths. And of course, Charles Manson died. I don't think anybody's really concerned about Charles Manson dying. But, it is what it is. But yeah, there's just been a lot of mentionable deaths recently. I was supposed to hang out with a cancer warrior today. His uncle had called me up yesterday or on Friday and said, hey, we got to get together sometime. Maybe this weekend we can hang out at my nephew's house. And I know who he was talking about. His nephew, Xavier. His nickname is Ziggy. I said, yeah, I'd love to hang out with Ziggy. Let's get together this weekend. He says, is Sunday available? Sure, I'd love to. But as you can see, I'm still sitting home. That's okay. Maybe he got sidetracked with something, or he just forgot about it or whatever. I sent him a text message and said, hey, are we still on for today? And he hasn't got back to me yet. Nope. No response. Not yet. Hey, bro, are we still on for today? I didn't get no response. He's probably already over there. That's fine. Maybe some other time. But anyway, as for me, I'm doing okay. Give or take, here or there kind of thing. It's like, yeah, I have my good days and bad days. But I am doing okay. And, yeah, really, what else is there to talk about? I kind of run out of things to talk about. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything that's been going on. Amy, she's in the hospital, in the stress unit in Owasso. She's something to do with the medicine. They put her back on the medicine, and it was messing with her brain, messing with her mind or something. I don't really understand. And I'm not trying to sound insensitive. I really don't. It's something to do with the medicine. It makes her hear voices or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, she's in the hospital. She'll be getting out very soon. Yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to talk about. It's all I had to talk about. But I'm just going to throw on a little extra something. I want to talk a minute about the Christmas spirit. Having a Christmas spirit. Now, Christmas is fast approaching, and a lot of people, they love Christmas. Love Christmas. I used to love Christmas, but the older I got, I started to realize more and more that it's just a money grab situation. It is about who can spend more money, who can impress better with money. I lost my Christmas spirit as I got older because it's always fun when you're a kid. Or when you have kids, it's fun. I don't have kids. And I'm older now, and it's like, yeah, we don't even put up a tree. We don't put up a tree. We don't put up decorations. We just don't do any of that stuff anymore. We haven't done that in years. We don't put up lights on the house. We don't do any of that stuff. I don't know. I just don't have my Christmas spirit anymore. I kind of, that went away quite some time ago. And, I don't down on the people who have a Christmas spirit. I think it's great that they're able to maintain a Christmas spirit. They've got their kids and their grandkids with them for Christmas, and that's always nice. It's always fun. But then I think about those people who don't have kids or they've lost their children, and in my view, it's kind of hard to be happy-go-lucky when you've been caught up in some really bad circumstances. And yes, I'm relating and referring to the childhood cancer community. It's hard. It's hard to be happy-go-lucky, and knowing that, your children love Christmas. My child loved Christmas, and now they're not here anymore to have fun and celebrate it with me. Now, I realize, yes, it could be worse for me, sure. But I feel for those people, too, that, they've lost their children to a horrific disease or otherwise, not just childhood cancer, but there's people out there who don't have their kids to celebrate it with. And I feel bad about that. And I also feel bad for the people who are homeless, the people who are starving. I can't feel happy-go-lucky and joyous Yuletide when these kinds of things are still continuously happening in the world. When there are people out there who don't have the things that we have. And people say, oh, I've been blessed with these things. No, I'm sorry, I don't look at it that way. Maybe fortunate would be a more appropriate word to use than blessed. Because there's people who otherwise one time may have had it all. And now they're down on their luck. Now they're hungry, nowhere to live, pushing a shopping cart. They don't have a warm bed to sleep in. They don't have a warm home-cooked meal. It bothers me. And I can't help but think of those people who are in the cold, freezing, bundled up in ragged clothes. It bothers me. I think about those people, and that's why I was telling Dad just recently that I wanted to volunteer my time, maybe at a soup kitchen, and just kind of, help feed the hungry or feed the homeless, that kind of thing. I wanted to get involved in that. And I've been wanting to get involved at doing some volunteer work at Sparrow. Whether it be reading stories to the kids or helping people walk to their car or whatever kind of volunteer services I have at Sparrow, I want to get involved. I want to help. Because for me, I'm in a lifetime of debt to Sparrow for saving my life when I was a baby. But apart from that, I mean, we have homeless people, we have hungry people, and not just grown-ups, but kids too. They're in homeless shelters, and you can say, well, yeah, okay, but they're in shelters, so they're not homeless. But it's not their home, is the point. We have a home that we go to. We have people that we can be with. There are people in this world who don't have it as good as we do. And all I'm asking you to do is to just kind of think about them. Consider them and their circumstances. And I hear this a lot too. Well, a lot of those people put themselves there. They chose to be in that position. How do you know that? You don't know their circumstances. You don't know what they've been through. How dare you judge those people? They didn't ask to be in that position. How dare you? Don't judge people. If you don't know the story, don't assume that you know. And that's, I don't know, that's what happened. That's where social media comes in, where you have a lot of people who, they just love to judge. They love to judge. And you shouldn't assume that you know something that you know absolutely nothing about. And I'm asking you to just kind of keep those people in mind. To think about the people who don't have a warm bed to sleep in. They don't have a warm home-cooked meal in their own home. Think about those people whose children have passed away, or whose children are just no longer with them, whether they ran away or they were abducted or whatever. Think about those parents who go through the unspeakable. Because really, kids love Christmas. I don't know of any child who doesn't love Christmas. And I know there's a lot of grown-ups who like Christmas too. I'm not saying that either. But I think personally, the reason that the grown-ups love Christmas so much is because they see the joy and the happiness that Christmas brings to their grandchildren and their children when they wake up on Christmas morning and there's presents under the tree. That is very heartwarming to the grown-ups to see kids happy. No doubt about it. It tugs at your heartstrings when their faces light up and, wow, Santa brought me this, and yeah, sure. It's always a pleasure. It's amazing when they wake up on Christmas morning in their PJs and they see all the presents under the tree and, oh my God, that is so awesome. Look what Santa brought me. For me, I'm older now. I don't have my Christmas spirit. Not anymore. I haven't had a good Christmas spirit in quite some time. Yeah, I mean, I went to Bronner's. Sure, Bronner's is a Christmas store. It is a tourist attraction, and I didn't mind taking some video footage of Bronner's and giving all of you a glimpse of Bronner's and how awesome it is inside and how big it is, because it's a tourist attraction, and I did it for those people who visit my YouTube channel to see that, wow, Bronner's, the world's largest Christmas store, how cool. So when you ever come to Michigan, stop at Bronner's and have a pocket full of money with you because they're quite pricey over there. But anyway, the whole point of that was just to remind you to keep the less fortunate in mind this holiday season. I'm sure they would love to be where you are. They would love to be where I am, although I don't have a Christmas spirit. But just consider other people and think about them. It's like when I go on my joyrides, whether it be to Flint, Lansing, or wherever, when I go, venture into the bigger cities, You know, there's people who stand outside with cardboard signs saying, you know, we'll work for food. Please help me. That kind of thing. And I feel bad for them. But, you know, and again, it always comes back to me where people say, well, you know, those people have money. They just don't want to do anything. They're out there panhandling and trying to get rich without doing anything, just taking money. And that there is, you know, that has been an instance, as a matter of fact, where someone had panhandled and they raked in, I think, $60,000. And I read that. That was an online published article. I read somewhere about that. But that's not every situation. You know, we can't paint with a broad brush while they're out there panhandling for money to get rich. We don't know their circumstances. And I don't, you know, like I said, I'm neither here nor there on that, other than, you know, I feel bad for them if that is truly the case. But, you know, it's one of those things. There are really less fortunate people out there, and you just have to keep them in mind. I guess that's about it. I haven't been here very long. A little over 20 minutes. Excuse me. But there is really not a whole lot happening around here today. Not today. That video I made where I'm over here and I'm over here. There's like a double vision, you know, there's two of me. It's the first time I've ever actually done a split screen video. It was pretty cool. It was fun to try, just a little fun experiment to try, and yeah. Cool. There's two of me. I think the world doesn't need two of me. One of me is enough. And you can imagine the surprise when my mom and dad saw the video. Wait a minute, Jared doesn't have a twin? There's only one of Jared. We only have 3 kids, not, you know, we don't have 4 kids. But it was fun, just a little fun experiment to try, because I didn't realize that I had the video editing software on my computer to be doing things like that, which is really just cool. If you have Skype, excuse me, if you have Skype, look for me on Skype. The name is Jared Fuller, and the profile picture, like I said, on Skype is the same as my YouTube profile picture, the bird, right down there in the corner. So, look for me. Let's set up a time where we can Skype. And I think, yes, actually, I don't think, I know. You can email me through my YouTube channel. My email address has been provided in the About section and the About tab of my YouTube channel. So anybody can email me, and I will respond as soon as I can get to them. But anyway, guys, I guess that's really all I wanted to talk about. That's about it. There's really nothing else going on. Just hanging out. And maybe, just maybe, I will be hanging out with a cancer warrior today. I just have to wait for his uncle to get back with me. Maybe not today, maybe some other time. That's alright. Whatever happens, happens. But if I do hang out with him today, I'll try to get some video footage and make a YouTube video. But anyway, guys, I guess I'm out of here. There's really nothing else to talk about. And I'm doing okay. Shoot me an email. I'd love to talk to you. Mwah. Much love, and peace out, guys. Take care.